Ever find yourself, in that online frenzy trying to snag a hot ticket or a limited edition whatever, and
Yeah.
the site just crashes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what we're diving into today, folks. How those apps and sites handle those crazy traffic spikes, the ones that feel like a digital stampede,
Right. Right.
and the key to keeping things running smoothly during those moments, something called spike testing.
It's like this. Imagine instead of slowly testing how much weight a bridge can take, you suddenly slam it with rush hour traffic
Oh, wow.
all at once. And then you see not just if it breaks, but how quickly it bounces back.
So spike testing, it's not your everyday load testing, right? What sets it apart?
Exactly. You see standard load testing, it's more about gradually turning up the heat, finding those breaking points or bottlenecks under like sustained pressure.
Okay.
But spike testing, it's all about those unpredictable, massive surges, like a digital flash flood.
Well,
And then that rapid drop off afterwards, it's how the system behaves when the user load goes haywire in a blink.
so our mission today is to really understand why this type of testing is so crucial, how it's actually done, and the impact it has on the software we use daily.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that affects every single internet user, right?
Totally. Think about those gotta have it moments. You mentioned a surprise album drop, a Black Friday deal, a global live stream.
Mm-hmm.
These are where robust spike testing really saves the day. Because if a system isn't ready for that avalanche of users, things can go south fast.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that major retailer a few years back? Their site crashed for a couple of hours on Black Friday?
Oh, no.
Talk about a sales killer. That's a prime example of why this testing is so important.
So let's get to the heart of it. Why put a system through that kind of extreme trial? What's the core reason behind spike testing?
The main reason is to see exactly how an application responds to those sharp, unexpected shifts in user load, both the crazy climb and the rapid drop.
Yeah.
We're basically stress testing its resilience under pressure cooker conditions.
And it's not just a simple pass or fail, did it crash or not.
Right.
There are more subtle things you're looking for, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. A key thing is understanding the system's recovery time.
Mm.
How long does it take to get back to normal after that huge surge? Ideally, you want that recovery to be as quick as possible.
Right.
We're also trying to uncover any hidden weaknesses that only show up under intense pressure.
Hmm.
Will the site slow to a crawl? Will features break down? Spike testing helps us get ahead of those potential disasters.
Got it. So we get why it's important. Now walk us through the how of spike testing.
Sure.
What are the key steps involved?
Usually you start by figuring out the application's maximum user load capacity. That's what it's supposed to handle under normal peak conditions.
So you need to know the limits before you push them.
Exactly. Once you have that baseline, you set up your testing environment, configure the infrastructure, and most importantly, set up tools to record all sorts of performance data,
Okay.
like server response times error rates, CPU and memory usage, the whole shebang.
So you're gathering a ton of data to analyze later.
Oh, we are. Next, you typically apply what you expect to be the normal maximum load. It's like a warm-up for the system.
Right.
Then comes the spike itself. You rapidly increase the load, often way beyond the expected maximum for a set period. It's like suddenly hitting the server with 10 times the usual traffic.
Like a digital tsunami?
Exactly. After that intense spike, you watch the system's behavior like a hawk. Does it stay stable? Does it start throwing errors? Then you gradually decrease the load back to normal, and finally, the crucial part, analyzing all the results.
No way.
You look at all those performance graphs and metrics, the number of failures, the time it took for transactions to complete the number of virtual users it could handle to get a clear picture of what happened.
So it's about seeing not just if it breaks, but how it breaks and how gracefully it recovers. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Now, you gave us some real-world examples before. Let's dig deeper into specific scenarios where spike testing is mission critical.
Okay, consider a major product launch for a popular tech company. The second pre-orders go live, there's this massive, almost instant surge in traffic.
Yeah.
If their systems haven't been rigorously spike tested, potential customers might face delays or even be unable to order at all.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those headlines about websites crashing during big releases.
Exactly. Another example, when huge global news breaks, those news websites see massive spikes in traffic as everyone rushes to get the information at the same time.
Right.
Their ability to handle that sudden demand is crucial for getting accurate news out there.
A real test of their infrastructure.
Absolutely. And think about those limited time online sales or promotions. The ticking clock creates a real sense of urgency, driving tons of users to the site in a short window.
Yeah, those countdowns work.
They do, and it's not always planned events. What about a blog post or video going viral? A website used to a trickle of traffic can suddenly get slammed, creating a huge unplanned spike.
Wow.
Or picture the very first day a new online service launches to the public, all those eager early access folks, and everyone who's been waiting will try to log in right away.
That initial wave must be enormous.
It is, and here's one we might not think about: the aftermath of a major internet outage when things come back online. There's often a synchronized rush of users trying to reconnect to various services,
Right.
leading to another kind of sudden demand peak.
That's a great point. You don't always think about that rebound effect.
Right.
So systems need to be prepared not just for the planned spikes, but also for those recovery surges.
Exactly. And because these kinds of traffic spikes are practically guaranteed for many online services, developers have come up with different ways to manage them and ensure systems recover gracefully.
Let's talk about those recovery strategies. What are some of the techniques for handling a massive traffic spike?
One common approach, especially with cloud platforms like AWS and Azure, is dynamic auto-scaling.
Okay.
The system can automatically increase server capacity as the user load grows, and as things calm down, it scales back down, optimizing resource usage and costs.
Right.
However, even with auto-scaling, there can be a lag in getting those new resources online, which spike testing helps identify and mitigate.
So the system can essentially breathe in more resources when needed and then exhale when the rush is over.
That's a great analogy. Another common strategy is rate limiting or access control.
Okay.
The system might temporarily limit the number of users doing certain things or even accessing the application at any given time. This helps prevent the whole system from being overwhelmed by a few heavy users.
Like a digital bouncer.
Exactly. And a third technique is to allow everyone in, but give them a heads up about potential slowdowns during peak load.
Okay.
The idea is to keep things accessible, even if it means slower response times.
Right.
This might be better than locking people out completely, but if the spike is huge, even this approach can lead to a poor user experience.
Sounds like a tricky balancing act to keep things accessible while maintaining stability and performance.
Absolutely. Now let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of actually doing spike testing. What are the main benefits?
Well, the most obvious one seems to be knowing your software won't collapse when a flood of users hits.
Exactly. Spike testing gives you proof that your software can handle extreme load conditions.
Right.
It helps you find and fix those worst-case scenario weaknesses that normal testing might miss.
Makes sense.
By simulating these intense situations, you can better predict and minimize the impact of unexpected traffic, leading to a more reliable experience for everyone.
So it's about creating a system that's tough and dependable.
Exactly. You can pinpoint those critical breaking points and make the necessary fixes before they cause big problems for users, saving you potential costs and reputation damage down the line.
So a stitch in time saves 9, as they say.
Right.
Okay, so what about the downsides? Our source mentioned one key drawback.
The main disadvantage is the cost of spike testing. It often requires setting up special high-capacity testing environments and using sophisticated tools, which can be expensive.
That makes sense. Simulating a huge user surge is probably not a simple or cheap task.
It's not, however. While there's an upfront cost, the long-term return on investment can be huge. By preventing those costly outages, protecting your brand, and avoiding lost revenue during those peak times, effective spike testing can pay for itself many times over.
So it's an investment in stability and avoiding bigger headaches down the road.
Right.
Now, our sources mentioned a couple of specific tools used for spike testing. Can you tell us a bit about those?
Sure. One popular tool is Apache JMeter. It's a widely used open-source Java application specifically for load and performance testing of web applications and other services. It's really versatile and can simulate thousands of users to stress your system.
Yeah.
JMeter lets you precisely measure things like the time it takes for each request and how many errors occur, giving you detailed insights into performance under spike conditions. It's also used for functional testing and even database testing.
Open source and versatile. Always a good combination. What about the other tool?
The other one mentioned is LoadRunner by Micro Focus. It's a comprehensive load testing tool that works on both Windows and Linux.
Okay.
It's also great for doing complex spike testing on web apps and other software. LoadRunner is known for simulating very large and intricate user scenarios, and it provides in-depth analysis tools to help pinpoint performance bottlenecks.
So JMeter and LoadRunner are just two examples of the powerful tools that developers use to simulate these massive user spikes and see how systems behave under pressure.
Exactly. They provide the means to generate that load monitor, those critical performance indicators in real time, and analyze the data to find areas for improvement,
Oh.
ensuring the system can handle those unexpected surges.
So to sum it all up, spike testing is this crucial behind-the-scenes process that helps ensure the software we use every day can handle those unpredictable storms of online activity.
Right.
It helps developers understand where systems break down, implement effective recovery strategies, and ultimately deliver a more stable and reliable experience for everyone.
That's a perfect summary. It's about being ready for the unexpected and building that digital resilience in a world where those sudden spikes in demand are more and more common.
Absolutely. So here's something to ponder. Considering how many online services we use are vulnerable to these sudden bursts of popularity, whether it's a viral video, a big product launch, or just everyone checking email at the same time.
Yeah.
What does understanding spike testing tell us about all that work that goes on behind the scenes to try and make those online experiences feel seamless or, sometimes not so seamless?
Right.
Think about it. Have you ever been frustrated by a website struggling under heavy load? Maybe their spike testing wasn't up to snuff. It really gives you a new appreciation for the complexities of keeping things running smoothly in our digital world.
Definitely. And hopefully this deep dive has given you a glimpse into that often invisible but crucial part of software development.
Right.
Those efforts to ensure a stable and responsive online experience even when the digital floodgates open.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well said. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next time.